I'll say, as a singer grows older, his conception goes a little deeper because he lives life and he understands what he's trying to say a little more.
February 25th, 1964 remains one of the most remarkable dates in American history. A night that brought together four of the most influential black men of their time. In Miami, after 22-year-old Cassius Clay defeated Sonny Liston to become the world heavyweight champion, he gathered with three extraordinary figures.
You took him in 7. I am the king of the world! Hold it.
28-year-old Jim Brown, the dominant force in professional football. 39-year-old Malcolm X, the fearless political and spiritual leader.
In this country has never been willing to pay the price for his freedom.
And 33-year-old Sam Cooke, the trailblazing musician and symbol of artistic independence.
Yeah, well, now, Dick, I'm working mostly with other young singers,
You wasn't doing nothing. Sam Cooke, hey, let that man up here. No, wait, hold it. Let that man up. He's coming up. Let that man up. He's coming up. Now, listen, Cassius, hold it. This is Joe. We see him. Joe, ask Cassius another. Let's stay on here. This is the right jam. All right.
This once-in-a-lifetime meeting would prove to be a turning point for all four.
We're talking about four of the probably most iconic men in American history.
February 25th, 1964. It was really interesting to think about these four gentlemen from very different areas. And in this very specific segregated time, I thought of all four of them as just so unapologetically black.
Excuse me. Move back. If you will. Now you got it, too. Hold it. All right, thank you.
Hey, the gang's all here. Join in the fun. Hey, the gang's all here. We gonna swing as one.
Shortly afterward, Cassius Clay embraced Islam and became Muhammad Ali, solidifying his identity and political voice.
That alternative is justice.
Jim Brown would shock the sports world by retiring from football at his peak just 2 years later.
And really, for him to go from playing sports to being not just an actor, but the actor, one of the lead guys, that was unheard of.
Malcolm X would be assassinated a year later, his message echoing long after his death. And Sam Cooke, the soul pioneer, would meet his tragic and mysterious end just 10 months later at the Hacienda Motel in South Central Los Angeles. Sam's death, ruled a justifiable homicide, left behind more questions than answers.
I knew that he was about to me, so while he was in the bathroom, I picked up my clothes, my shoes, and my handbag. I opened the latch and I ran out.
No, it didn't go down like they said it went down.
Right.
Now where do Sam Cooke after come at?
Right.
And let's face it, but see what they do, they try to make you look as bad as you can.
The hasty inquest completed just 5 days after his death, and the condition of his body at the funeral fueled widespread suspicion among family, fans, and friends.
The singer Etta James, who had recently toured with Cooke, echoed that request while suggesting that there may have been a larger cover-up at play. She wrote that she saw Cooke's body at his funeral and that his head was practically, quote, disconnected from his shoulders. That's how badly he'd been beaten.
Some believed it was a setup or a robbery gone wrong. Others thought it tied to civil rights or the music industry, where Sam was on the verge of gaining full independence.
Sam Cooke was getting ready to own his own publishing. He was murdered and beat up, and they tried to say that it was a lover's quarrel and the guy came, okay?
From the coroner's report to dispelling the myths, tracking his final movements.
Left, we would sit out in the living room, talk for a while, and that's when he told me he was going to meet these jockeys from K-Day at PJ's that night. And then about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, my phone rang, and my mom said, Lou, I said, well, she said, Sam is dead. I said, what?
And uncovering the shocking events that occurred just days after his funeral.
Just 3 months after his death, Bobby married Sam's widow, Barbara Cooke.
I'm going to take care of his family, and I really meant that from here. And that's what happened, but people looked at it different.
These are the findings that point to the true cause of death of Sam Cooke, the father and inventor of modern soul music. Sam Cooke was truly in a league of his own.
Whenever you are in sight, I know that I love.
He was cool, dude. Sam the man. He was the man.
Disconnect my telephone. Ain't that good news?
From his soulful voice and poetic songwriting to his sharp business acumen and magnetic presence, he was the complete package.
He would just sit up and listen to people. He said, man, listen to people talk. And that's where you get your hooks from. I mean, the storyline.
Sam was a prince of a man. He just had everything going for him. Sam had the looks, he had the voice, he had the manner, he had the charm, and he had the savoir-faire.
A visionary and undeniable genius, Cooke became the first gospel artist to successfully cross over into secular music, setting a precedent for generations to come.
Decided to go on my own, made a song called You Send Me. It sold about 1.5 million copies for me, luckily enough.
Darling, you send me. I know you send me.
Responsible for carrying the music of the church over to the millions of pop music fans was one of my idols when I was growing up, and it turned out to be a really good friend of mine, Apollo legend Sam Cooke.
His decision to make that move was largely economic.
Your career 57 to turn to this kind of singing.
My economic situation.
There's a very honest answer.
And it is while in the secular world that he came to understand that to gain real value and independence as an artist, he had to own his music.
Were you producing, writing, so forth?
I'm producing and writing, as I said, for other people.
Dick Clark once said about him, Sam Cooke knew the business way before you were supposed to know the business. So he researched and he learned, and he knew that that's where the money was.
I guess he was gonna be a Berry Gordy before Berry Gordy was Berry Gordy.
In 1961, Sam founded his own record label, SAR Records, alongside J.W. Alexander, Roy Crane, and his publishing company, Cags Music. 2 years later, he and Alexander launched a pop subsidiary, Darby Records. Under these ventures, Sam nurtured young talents such as the Sims Twins, Johnny Taylor, Mel Carter, the Womack Brothers, and a young Billy Preston. His goal was simple yet profound. He wanted his protégés to become even greater than he was.
What could be the greatest thing in the world that would happen to you if you had your choice?
The greatest thing that happened to me, if all the singers I'm connected with had hits.
By late 1963, Cooke had grown frustrated with the limitations of his RCA contract and sought better royalty terms. With the help of his accountant friend, Alan Klein, he secured a new deal that granted him unprecedented control over his work. Together, they created Tracy Limited, named after his daughter, a holding and tax shelter company through which Sam's recordings would be produced and owned, with RCA handling distribution. Though the path to artistic freedom was becoming clear, Sam's journey was shadowed by personal tragedy. The drowning of his 18-month-old son in June 1963, a loss that would forever change him and deepen his artistry. Just weeks after Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. delivered his historic I Have a Dream speech on August 28, 1963.
So even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Sam Cooke faced his own battle with racial injustice. In October, he and his entourage were arrested in Shreveport, Louisiana, for causing a disturbance after being denied lodging at a whites-only motel. Though released on a $102 bond, the incident deeply affected him. Fueled by anger and determination, Cooke channeled his experience into creating the timeless anthem, "A Change Is Gonna Come."
Cooke, who'd been turned away from a whites-only motel in Louisiana a year earlier, wanted to write a song with the power of Bob Dylan's Blowin' in the Wind.
I was born
On the evening of December 10, 1964, Sam Cooke stopped by the home of his longtime friend Lou Rawls before heading to Martoni's, a popular Los Angeles hangout. There, around 9 p.m., he met his recording engineer Al Schmidt and his wife to discuss plans for his next album.
And we were talking about what we were going to do to the next album.
It was at Martoni's that Sam noticed a 22-year-old Eurasian model named Elisa Boyer. Though Sam was known to be disciplined and principled in most areas of his life, his one weakness was women. Since the tragic death of his young son, he had struggled with grief and often sought comfort in fleeting romantic encounters. When the Schmidts left to catch a show, Sam told them he would see them later at another nightclub, PJ's. However, by the time he and Elisa arrived there around 1 a.m., the couple had already left. Witnesses claimed that inside the club, Sam got into an argument with a man who was flirting with Elisa, prompting her to ask him to take her home. According to Elisa Boyer, Sam, who was heavily intoxicated, drove recklessly and ignored her pleas to be taken home. Instead, he drove to the Hacienda Motel, where manager Bertha Franklin checked them in under the name Mr. and Mrs. Sam Cooke. Elisa later alleged that once inside the room, Sam tried to strip and assault her. She claimed she escaped while he was in the bathroom, accidentally taking his clothes with her as she fled. Boyer said she ran to the manager's office for help, but when Franklin didn't answer quickly, she panicked and ran to a nearby phone booth to call the police. Meanwhile, Bertha Franklin's account described a drunken, enraged Cooke pounding on her office door, demanding to know where Boyer was. When she refused to open, Sam allegedly broke in, wearing only one shoe and a jacket. Franklin claimed he attacked her, forcing her to defend herself. She grabbed her .22 pistol and fired 3 shots, one striking Sam in the heart. When he didn't fall immediately, she struck him with a broomstick until he collapsed, ending the life of one of music's greatest voices in a scene that remains clouded in controversy. Five days after Sam Cooke's death, a rushed coroner's inquest was held, with both Elisa Boyer and Bertha Franklin providing testimonies and passing polygraph tests. Toxicology reports revealed that Sam's blood alcohol level was twice the legal limit. The coroner's office ruled the death a justifiable homicide, and the case was closed. The police quickly accepted the narrative, and Bertha Franklin was not charged. However, many, including Sam's family and close friends, remained unconvinced. They found it hard to believe that a successful, generally peaceful man like Sam, known for his class and dignity, could have ended up dead in such a sordid and suspicious manner. They argued that Elisa Boyer's claim that Sam had been aggressive was inconsistent with his well-known nonviolent nature. A month later, Elisa Boyer was arrested for prostitution, and in 1979, she was convicted of second-degree murder for killing her ex-boyfriend. Some speculate that Boyer may have attempted to rob Cooke, and the situation turned deadly. In the months following Sam's death, rumors swirled, with some accusing his wife Barbara and friend Bobby Womack of being involved. Just 2 months after his passing, Barbara and Bobby married, sparking further suspicion. Some theorize that Sam's rising influence, especially his push for black ownership in the music industry, had made him a target of powerful interests. Sam was buried at Forest Lawn Memorial Park in Glendale, California. His legacy may have been cut short far too soon, but he went down without bending the knee. Till we meet again, brother.